Welcome back. We are talking today to women who were betrayed in unimaginable ways by the people they trusted and loved. Instead of letting that break them, they fought back. Well, my next guest story is really interesting. Charlotte Laws went head to head with the person who tried to ruin someone she loves' life, her daughter. Her daughter was hacked, her emails were, and then private photos were posted online. In the 3-part Netflix docuseries, The Most Hated Man on the Internet, Charlotte reveals how she took down a man named Hunter Moore, AKA the most hated man on the internet, and helped hundreds of victims of this self-proclaimed professional life ruiner.
He didn't want self-submits. He didn't want people who said, here, Hunter, post my picture. No, that wasn't interesting. That wasn't going to get page views. That's not what the site was about. He wanted people who did not want to be there, who could not afford to be on that site. He wanted total and complete humiliation of these individuals.
Please welcome Charlotte Laws to the show. So, Charlotte, you know, we're talking about people who were betrayed by people they knew. You didn't know this guy. Your daughter didn't know this guy.
No, did not know him and did not know his hacker either.
24-year-old Kayla, she put the post pictures, some private pictures. I mean, we can go on and on about you shouldn't, but people do. People take private pictures, they go in the cloud, they have them on their phones. She was hacked, her email was hacked. How did you all find that it was this guy? Because it just seems like the dark internet and the dark web, you can go down rabbit holes, but you made progress fast.
Yeah, I mean, he was very front and center on his site. So I knew who was behind it, but I didn't know the truth about him because he put forward so many lies that I had to like really investigate to find out who he was, where he lived, and what avenue I could take to get her content down.
Was it your nature to investigate? Because you seem like the parent who's like, I'm gonna open this diary, I'm gonna get a pen, and I'm gonna figure this out. Is that your nature to?
It really is. I mean, I used to be a private investigator, but I've kind of always been this way.
Yeah. So this guy basically picked the wrong mama to mess with, as they say, and your daughter's photos were taken down in 9 days.
Right.
You could have stopped there, right? You could have said, okay, I got my kid's pictures down, but you said, no. This is bigger than one person.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, there were thousands of victims out there, and there are also no laws in place to protect victims against revenge porn.
Which is so stunning to me.
I know. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But it was a new thing back then. You know, nobody really knew about it.
What did it do as a mom to watch your daughter go through that pain? Because that's when I watched the series, I'm thinking, mama bear, and now she's out there.
Right.
Front and center.
Right.
To be humiliated.
And the internet is forever. That's the problem with it. You get a photo up there and it can just, perpetuate forever,
What
propagate.
were you seeing in her what was it doing?
She was just emotionally devastated. She locked herself in a room. She didn't want to communicate with the world. She felt humiliated, and victims tend to turn their knife inward, which is what she did. So she was like blaming herself for taking a picture that she had never sent to anyone. She had one topless picture, lots of clothed pictures that she had taken on her phone and sent to her email. Yeah. So, it was never her fault, but victim blaming was pervasive in society back then.
When you saw your daughter say, it's my fault, what did that do to you?
I just said, it tore me apart. It's just, it's so upsetting as a parent to, hear your daughter blaming herself, the turning inward, the masochism. And I just said, no, it's not your fault, and we have to get it down. I became obsessed with getting that picture down.
Right.
It was like focus.
Right. I love it. But when we come back, she was another victim of the so-called most hated man on the internet. How she found the strength to share her story. We'll be back with the mama you don't mess with after the break.
The profile they had created of me had a screenshot of my Facebook account and some intimate photos. Seeing the photos was pretty horrible, but the comments were devastating. I think the moment that broke me was when I got a call from my brother, my little brother. And he was just like, I'm so sorry.
Welcome back. We are with Charlotte Laws from Netflix's The Most Hated Man on the Internet. Her crusade to help victims of a man identified as Hunter Moore not only got his website taken down, but also put Hunter Moore in federal prison for 2.5 years. Danielle Green was just 22 years old when she took the intimate photos meant for a close friend. The pictures later appeared on the same revenge porn site as Charlotte's daughter. Danielle says that Charlotte's persistence in fighting this helped get the photos and the website taken down. Thank you so much for joining me. I mean, listen. To hear you talk about your brother seeing it, it gutted me. I can't imagine that call from him and then reading the comments and feeling like you had done something wrong when you were a victim.
Right.
Tell us how, just the helpless feeling of wanting to fight back but not knowing how.
Well, back then there weren't any laws. This was a new thing, right? The internet was the wild, wild west, and so I didn't know who to turn to. My dad was an attorney, he was a prosecutor, but I was too embarrassed, I was too ashamed to tell him what happened.
And that's what they bank on, right?
Right.
They bank on the shame and that you'll just leave it alone, you'll go away.
Right.
How did you get past the shame?
Therapy and lots of mental health, education. I just started reading and learning about internalized misogyny and why, we end up destroying ourselves when we're abused. That doesn't.
You even say we shouldn't call it revenge porn.
Right.
Because that makes it as if you've done something wrong and they're getting revenge on you. You've done nothing.
Exactly. So, and it's just recently that I've started thinking about that phrase, revenge porn, and why it's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? It should be image-based sexual assault.
That is true. That is. And Charlotte, we're celebrating the victory here, but it got really bad. You got death threats.
I got death
People were
threats.
stalking you because they wanted to keep this site up. His supporters.
Right. And I
We're
also
lethal.
got computer viruses. I had a stalker at my house. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah.
Were you ever afraid at any point?
I was, because you don't know who these anonymous people are. You don't know if they have guns, if they have anger issues, if they just got out of prison. You don't know. You've got all these people coming at you, and they're faceless. And so it's kind of scary. And I went and got locks for my gates. My daughter and I were sleeping with metal rods under our beds. I mean, we didn't know what to expect from his followers.
I mean, I say this in all honesty, and I wrote you the letter before we came out. As a mom, and seeing you fight and continue to fight is so inspiring because you're worried about your safety. And it's easy to hide in shame or fear, but neither of you did that. And that is outstanding because you're helping other people.